Illinois. It's done. Okay, how many of you, what did you see? How many passes? 33, 35? 30, some 37, 36? Did anybody see 38? 38? Okay, how many saw 27 or so? No, everybody in the 30s? Oh, yeah. Okay, let me ask you another question. How many of you did not see a gorilla? Okay. They're afraid to put up their hands, okay? There are a few of you that have not. So the rest of you did see the gorilla. For those of you who did not see the gorilla, you don't have to be ashamed. A lot of brilliant people do not see the gorilla. Would you just do the replay again? And for those of you who did not see the gorilla, I want you to just see it, and you're going to be a little dumbfounded. We're not changing anything because the rest of your colleagues here did see it. And in just a second. Okay, this is what you missed. Now, are you, and I'm not going to embarrass anybody, but are you kind of wondering why you missed it? No, you're not even wondering? Okay. Sir, you in the back, who always talks that way? Could you tell me why you may have missed it? You look like a very intelligent person, and I'm sure you are.
I haven't seen it before.
Oh, well, I don't think has everybody here seen this before?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, some did. Okay, some did. Yes?
I can tell you why it's easy to miss.
Okay.
It's because you said, planted in our mind, how many passes do you see? You don't see anything else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the reason I'm showing you this is because, you know, in your work, observation skills are absolutely crucial. And when you get so focused on a white van or counting the passes, you are missing the obvious. Now, there's a ton of other exercises, but because of our time limitation, we'll forego them. This was actually done, as I mentioned, at the University of Illinois. Great stuff. Let me just share a couple things of what else they have on here in just a second here. They'll have two people talking, and this might be like a can of Coke. And it so slowly will become a can of Sprite. And 99% of the people will just miss it. And so there again, you have to be aware of where expectations, the power that they may have. I'm going to bring in an exercise a little bit later that will drill that home. Okay, so we're okay. Jamie, you're okay for a second. Now, the other thing, I interviewed a guy yesterday. Now, when we're talking about prevention, how many of you feel like, you know, Sung Hee Cho, the Virginia Tech episode? And one of the things that some lives could have been prevented and some were, was because of the internet and people immediately texting each other. Is that not true? But there's a lot of damage that can be done in a few seconds. And how many people, do you know that there were 70 signs? So here again, we're talking about your observation skills. This is human. The computer can provide the information, but you're still consciously interpreting it. And there's a human factor there where we often lose out. There were 70 signs that guy revealed that were mixed. Now, one of the reasons, what were one of the things that they said? Anybody want to share it? What did they say? The counselor said he was this, but not that. What did you hear? What was that? He was introverted? Okay. Is that good or bad? You don't want to be too stereotypic there either. You're absolutely right. What did they say? They said he was anxious and he was depressed. Is that a sign of aggression? Are you going to have more bullying in something like that, or cyber? Are you? If you're anxious or depressed? They decided no, that he was not a threat to himself or others, but because a lot of times people are just too depressed to even take action. And so there again, once you get into some kind of tunnel vision. Now, if we can show the slide, I'm going to ask you another question. Who is most dangerous? Because after you're using all of your wonderful skills and tools that you've acquired in the last couple days, then what do you do? What do you do next? let me ask you, okay, can you show the face of the two guys? What I'm going to ask you is which of these two guys would you believe is more dangerous to society? Because this will be one of the signs. And while she's getting that up, there are two types of aggression that we're talking about, whether it's general bullying or cyberbullying. There are two basic types of aggression. One is primal aggression. And that is basically when people are acting from instinct, and it's a lot about adrenaline, where you can almost see the red face and the rage and so forth. Well, you see it right there. The other is cognitive aggression, and it's very, very different. Now, let me give you another example that after you get all this data that you have learned in the last couple of days, and I think it's brilliant, you're absolutely crazy not to be on board with this. There's still that human element that we